EA just added 17 new formations and over 280 new plays to Madden 26, so in this video, we're counting down the updated top 5 best playbooks in Madden 26 that'll have you lighting up the scoreboard on every single drive. So starting off at number 5, the Lions Playbook just got 2 brand new overpowered formations. The Lions Playbook was already insanely good, and our Lions offense game plan at playbookprofessor.gg has been one of our most popular game plans this year. But with these brand new formations, this playbook is even better. So right here, this is the formation gun bunch wide trips. I'm gonna go into the play call screen so you guys can see the plays, but there's one play in particular I want to show you. So this is gun bunch wide trips, brand new to Madden 26. It's got a lot of auto motions, a lot of unique routes, and there's a lot of cool things that we can do with this formation. But the play I want to focus on is motion return whip crossers because of this very unique post route from our outside bunch receiver. We can build a cover 3 and cover 4 drop bomb very easily out of this play. And so this is what the play art looks like. And the adjustments are going to be to put our middle bunch receiver on a streak, take our tight end and put him on anything underneath. I'll do a drag. You could do a zig if you want. Then you want to take your solo receiver and put him on a curl and custom stem it up by one click on the D-pad. And finally, we're going to block our running back. If you've ever ran gun bunch offset, this is very similar to the setups we'll use out of the play double post. But this is going to bomb cover 3 and cover 4 drop for a one play touchdown. So if we go ahead and snap this ball, watch the outside bunch receiver on the post. As he crosses the field, you're going to see that there's going to be absolutely no one out there because that curl route that we stemmed up is going to pull down the defender in the outside third, and that's an easy one play touchdown. But it's not just cover 3, it's going to work against cover 4 drop as well. I'm going to zone out the D tackle just to make sure we have plenty of time to throw, but we're going to go ahead and do the exact same route combo right here. And once again, against cover 4 drop this time, you're going to see that that curl route is going to pull down the outside quarter, and you can just throw to the post on the outside, and that's another easy one play touchdown. And so gun bunch wide trips is extremely powerful. There's a ton of things we could do with it. We could probably spend a whole hour talking about this formation, but this play right here, if you run it like the play double post and gun bunch offset, is going to make this formation extremely powerful. Now, the next formation I want to show you is another formation that is brand new to Madden, and as far as I know, exclusive to the Lions Playbook, and that is going to be our Maryland I formations. Maryland I tight close and also Maryland I close have been added to the game. These are super fun because what you have is 2 fullbacks in the backfield in front of your running back. Now, in my testing, the Maryland I close formation is better than Maryland I tight close, so I would recommend Maryland close. And what you can do is run a very simple goal line scheme out of these formations, or really this formation, Maryland I close. The 2 plays I recommend are going to be power O and halfback toss. So I'm going to put halfback toss in my audibles menu. I'm going to go ahead and call power O, and we're going to put the defense here into goal line 5-3. So let's go ahead and just take them down to the goal line so we can truly simulate a goal line situation. And so what you're going to do here is if your opponent does not do any pinching or anything with their defense, you're just going to snap the ball and run power O. As you can see, we'll have a nice running lane to get through, and we are into the end zone. But what do people usually do on the goal line? They usually pinch their D-line, slant the D-line inside. This will be the user. They'll try to like mug the gap or something. And when that happens, what you're going to do is audible to halfback toss and flip it to the left by flicking your right stick. When you do that, this halfback toss gets crazy space on the outside. I mean, there's really no way to stop that on the outside. And right here, you have an amazingly powerful goal line scheme. And I did this a bunch of times. If they pinch in goal line 5-3, this halfback toss really is about as wide open as anything could possibly be. That's probably the closest a defender is going to get. And obviously, if you have a running back there with any type of speed at all, you're going to win that foot race. And so discovering how powerful this 1-2 punch is of power O and halfback toss has made me realize that Maryland I close might be one of the best goal line schemes in the entire game, making the Lions Playbook even better than it already was. Now, just to recap some of the things that were already in the Lions Playbook that are really powerful, the formation everyone should be aware of is gun trio Y close. That's the one that we teach, or one of the formations that we teach in our Lions offense game plan. And there's one play I want to show you guys that hopefully everybody is aware of. And if you're not aware of it, you'll know it now. Gun trio Y flex. That play is halfback motion slot shake. If I can find it, here we go. On the left side, halfback motion slot shake. And the play that, or the route that I really want to focus on is the shake route. And if we put our defense in any type of cover 1 right here, what you're going to see is that this shake route is truly the best man-beating route in the entire game. And if you can't tell, the shake route is this route right here on our inside trips receiver. This shake route will cook any defender in man coverage. I'm going to zone out these DNs so that we have time to throw. But watch how this shake route runs. Watch the separation he is going to get on that shake route. It truly is insane. You might be saying, oh, that's just because you have Amon-Ra St. Brown out there. Put a worse receiver out there and he won't get that kind of separation. Well, let's go ahead and go Amon-Ra St. Brown, and let's go ahead and put a 15 overall quarterback there. Now, I don't know how fast this guy is, but we're going to put a 15 overall quarterback on the shake route. And for halfback motion slot shake, what you're going to see is that this is still going to get separation. And so let's find another cover 0 blitz real quick. I thought I had one. There we go. Double safety blitz. And like I said, I really don't know how fast this guy is. I'm guessing he's pretty slow. But if we go ahead and snap this ball, what you're going to see is that he still got separation. Now, he can't catch because he's a quarterback. But as you can see, it doesn't matter who you put out there. You can put literally any person out here, and they get separation on the shake route. That's how good this shake route is as a man-beating route. And so, obviously, if you have anyone better than a 15 overall quarterback there, that's going to be a lot of yards. And so this play, halfback motion slot shake, and this is the setup that I always do. It beats man, zone, match coverage. It beats everything. Insanely tough for your opponent to guard. This is my favorite setup out of the play, halfback motion slot shake in the gun trio Y flex formation. And so all that combined, bunch wide trips, Maryland I close, this formation gun trio Y flex, as well as gun Y off trio close, the other formation we teach in the game plan, make the Lions playbook an excellent playbook post-patch here in Madden 26. Now, if you're tired of losing games and want to know exactly what plays and adjustments you should be using to start winning, then definitely check out our strategy website, playbookprofessor.gg. That's where we have full offensive and defensive game plans that are proven to help players just like yourself win more games. You'll be joining our community of over 1,000 active members, and over 98% of players surveyed said they won more games after signing up. If you want to unlock everything you need to start dominating right now, the link is at the top of the description, and be sure to use code SPRUCE to get 30% off. And now, back to the video. Now, moving on to number 4, the Vikings playbook has tons of unique routes that you can't find anywhere else. The Vikings already had the best gun bunch tight end in the game, and we teach that in our Vikings offense game plan at playbookprofessor.gg. But with the latest title update, EA added even more plays to the Vikings gun bunch tight end. And so I want to show you guys what those plays are. And there's one play in particular I want to focus on, because there are some really cool things we can do with it. And so these are the 3 new plays added to gun bunch tight end: crosser poco, QB wrap, and PA slide. And the play we are going to focus on is crosser poco, because against zone coverage, we have some super unique routes that are really unlike anything else in the game. And so the first route I want to focus on is going to be our middle bunch receiver on this unique route. I would call this an out and up sit route. And correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you would call it something else. But in my opinion, he goes out and up, but then he sits down. And what we're going to do with him is we're going to custom stem him up by 1 click on the D-pad to make his route a little bit deeper. And then we're going to take our inside bunch receiver, put him on a slot fade, outside bunch receiver, and put him on a flat route. The tight end doesn't really matter. We'll just put him on a curl, block our running back. And now against cover 3, we have basically an unguardable route. Also against cover 4, it'll be an unguardable route, because I want you guys to look at the spot that this out and up sit route is going to get into. It's kind of just exactly in between all the zone defenders. It's too deep and outside to be guarded by a hook curl, but it's too far inside to be guarded by a curl flat. And even if we take this slot cornerback and custom zone stem him up by 1 click on the D-pad, wait, I'm trying to custom zone stem. There we go. If we custom zone stem that curl flat up, and that's kind of the spot where you typically have that curl flat playing to guard a corner route, you can see that it's too far outside. And so there's not really a good way in cover 3 or cover 4 to guard this out and up sit route. He's just going to sit in that perfect spot in between all those zone defenders, and your opponent's just going to have to man it up, use it, or do something else in order to account for that, because it's such a unique route in such a unique spot. Now, the other super cool thing that we can do with this play is with our outside bunch receiver. Now, this is kind of like a post route with a double move in the middle, and the double move is pretty bad. But what we can do is if we take him and stem him all the way up, so custom stem up like a bunch of clicks on the D-pad, it basically becomes a seam route. So he kind of goes inside and then up, kind of like a slant and up route. And once again, here against cover 3, and it'll work even better against cover 4, you can see that he's just going to kind of get right up that seam into an amazing spot for us to hit just outside of that hook curl defender. And of course, the hook curl will be brought inside by that crosser. The curl flat is brought outside by the out and up sit route. And so it's just a perfect way to attack the seam. I mean, if your opponent isn't shaded underneath zone coverage, then it's going to be even more wide open. I mean, it's going to be about as open as it could possibly be. But as we saw in the first rep, even when it's not shaded underneath, it's going to do a perfect job of attacking the seam. And so I love this play right here because just using a little bit of custom stemming, we can get a ton of value out of these routes. Now this, of course, is a new play in Gun Bunch Tight End. Gun Bunch Tight End is incredible. I mean, just to quickly go over some of the amazing plays, the RPO alert bubble in Gun Bunch Tight End, arguably the best RPO in the entire game. Triple out, super cool. You've got all kinds of cool things you can do out of a lot of these plays. We have a super bomb out of PA verticals, whips with the double whip routes going both directions. We've looked at that, I think, in our video on the Jaguars offense. And there's just so many cool things you can do out of this formation. And cheat tight end halfback, or cheat tight end hitch halfback seam with the inside bunch receiver on that auto motion on the wheel route. Super unique play. Tons of awesome things that you can do with it. So Gun Bunch Tight End is legitimately one of the best formations in the entire game. Now, one other thing in the Vikings playbook I want to show you guys is the formation Gun Tight Flex Weak. Maybe a little bit slept on, but extremely powerful. This play motion mesh spot with the auto motion wheel route, super powerful. Lots of great gun tight concepts we can use. And one play in particular I want to point out for you guys is motion bunch whip smash. And previously we looked at how shake routes were, I said, were the best man beating routes in the game. And that is true, but those are the best in breaking man beating routes in the entire game. This play has the best out breaking man beating route in the entire game. And it is this route right here on our left side slot receiver. And I want you guys to watch here against man coverage just how well this route does. Watch him get through his break and get just insane separation. And again, this is like Adam Thielen. It's not like this is a crazy route runner. I mean, no disrespect to Adam Thielen. He had a nice career, but he's not much of a route runner these days. But look at the separation he's going to get against a man defender. He just completely leaves him in the dust. And so this play motion bunch whip smash here in Gun Tight Flex Weak is honestly one of the most slept on plays in the entire game, because when you can beat man coverage like that, and of course these are all great zone beating concepts as well. Technically, when I would run this, I'd probably run it on the other hash, because then what you have here is, let's say your opponent's not in man coverage, let's say they end up being in zone coverage, and let's put them in like a shaded down cover 3. What's going to happen here is you essentially just have a flood concept with the kind of that double move route being the underneath route. You got the tight end post over top, got a backside return route. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming open if your opponent is in zone coverage as well. And of course, JJ McCarthy can't hit the broadside of a barn, but you can see that at least the stuff was open. We'll run it one more time. I like having completions, even though JJ McCarthy tends to have other plans, both in practice mode and in real life. But you can see just how open these guys are. And it's just a great zone beating concept as well, in addition to having one of the best man beating routes in the entire game. And so this setup right here, motion bunch whip smash, this is in our Vikings offense game plan on playbookprofessor.gg. One of my favorite setups. You can run this against literally any coverage and somebody is getting open. And so between the new plays in Gun Bunch Tight End, the existing plays in Gun Bunch Tight End, and Gun Tight Flex Weak, the Vikings playbook is one of the most overpowered playbooks in all of Madden 26. Now at number 3, the Buccaneers playbook is without a doubt the most underrated playbook in Madden 26. The Bucs playbook is full of amazing formations, and it will be a future offense game plan on playbookprofessor.gg. But right now I want to show you guys my favorite play in the playbook. A little bit gimmicky, but that's okay. We're in the formation Gun Bunch Strong Nasty, and this is motion double pass. And what's amazing about this play is that if your opponent is in any type of zone or match coverage and doesn't know how to counter this play, it's going to be a free one-play touchdown. And so if we go ahead and snap the ball, you'll see that there's just going to be some pre-snap auto motion. Your quarterback will throw it back to your receiver, who can then launch it to another receiver for an easy one-play touchdown. It's that easy against any type of zone or match coverage. Now, it won't work against man coverage, and also there is an easy counter to it. I'm going to teach you guys that right now. If you're going up against the gun bunch strong nasty formation and you see that pre-snap auto motion from the outside bunch receiver, all you have to do is pass commit. So that's RB or R1 and then up on the right stick. And when you pass commit, it will prevent your defenders in the deep blue zones from crashing down and leaving the deep receiver wide open. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know that. I have scored one-play touchdowns against top 100 players using this exact play. So not everyone knows how to counter. In fact, a lot of people don't know how to counter this. And so you can definitely steal an easy touchdown when you really need it by using this play, motion double pass, in the gun bunch strong nasty formation. Let's go ahead and look at some other awesome plays and formations in this playbook and go back to the play call screen. And even just in gun bunch strong nasty, we have motion halfback seam. You can set up the double pass. You can have these plays with the pre-snap auto motion from that receiver that aren't the double pass, and you can use those over and over again to lull your opponent to sleep and then hit him with the double pass. You have a really awesome play, motion smash angle, with these sharp corner routes that you can custom stem down. They do great against man coverage. You have a really great RPO read in here. You have wide trail, just tons of great stuff in the gun bunch strong nasty formation. Another thing in the Bucs playbook, gun trio Y flex, a formation we looked at before. The play motion empty slot shake has that same shake route from the inside trip receiver we looked at before. Insanely powerful formation. The shake route is probably my favorite route in the entire game. We have gun trips tight end, one of the best formations in the game every single year. Great QB zone, QB strong power. These are amazing down near the goal line. If you played against anyone good, there's a good chance you've seen them use QB zone or QB strong power in a goal line situation. Obviously RPO alert bubble, and then powerful pass plays like China wide post and curl flat. But one formation, actually, before we go to the formation I want to show you, they even have a gun bunch tight end. We know gun bunch tight end is one of the most popular formations this year. Plays like cheat tight end halfback seam. Amazing, amazing formations all throughout the Bucs playbook. But one of the formations people don't necessarily know about is pistol trips. And the play PA halfback flat is one of my favorite plays in the entire game. You can see in the lower right, I've called it 314 times, and I averaged 13.9 yards per call. So go ahead and call PA halfback flat, and for the defense, we can just do like cover 3. Doesn't really matter all that much. And I have a lot of setups out of PA halfback flat, but a very simple one I'm going to show you guys is just a couple of adjustments. Just streak your tight end, and then take your middle trips receiver and put him on a drag. And so what we're doing here is obviously flooding the right side of the field with the streak to push defenders deep, the crosser and the drag. And, you know, nothing too crazy about a flood concept. We can go ahead and just run a rep real quick just to show you guys how well this crosser runs. And the crosser isn't too deep, so as long as you pass lead that down and outside, that's going to have a ton of space. So far, so good. We know how good the drag is. We don't need to throw to that. We also have the super deep backside dig route. So if your opponent ends up, you know, maybe getting distracted trying to guard the flood concept, then it leaves the dig route open. But the star of this play really is this running back on the delayed in route. This route is so good. Basically what happens is it's technically a check and release. So he's first going to check if there are any free blitzers coming in. And if they are, he'll pick them up and block them. But if there's no free blitzers coming in, then he's going to just do this delayed in route. And it gets into such an incredible spot. And if we go ahead and snap the ball, you can kind of see how it runs. He checks for somebody, and then he comes back down, and he's wide open right there. Now, you might be saying, okay, that's okay. Like, you got like 6 yards. But here's what typically happens when you run this play. Your user isn't just going to sit in the middle. On the defensive side, if this is the user right here, what he's seeing is he's seeing a drag, a crosser, even a deep dig. There are so many routes to distract this user that he's going to run with multiple of them. Sometimes people will try to run with the user initially and then come back and use the backside dig route. Whatever it is, the user has a lot of routes to worry about. And what happens is they end up vacating that part of the field that the running back is going to. So it's not like a 6-yard gain. It ends up being a much bigger gain, like when you have tons of space to hit this running back in the middle of the field. And so I love this play so much, PA halfback flat, because you have already an incredible concept with the crosser, drag, and streak flooding the right side, plus a backside dig. But when you add in this running back route underneath, you are now creating an additional high-low of the dig route over top and the running back in route underneath. And it is incredibly difficult for people to guard. This is like my favorite play in all of Madden 26. And like I said, it will be featured in our upcoming Buccaneers offense game plan on playbookprofessor.gg. But no matter what formation you're running in the Bucs playbook, as you guys can tell from the last few minutes, the Bucs playbook is absolutely stacked with tons of powerful plays and formations. Now at number 2, the Packers playbook contains 2 of the most secretly overpowered formations in Madden 26. And those 2 formations are gun cluster and gun cluster halfback strong, both of which are featured in our brand new Packers offense game plan on playbookprofessor.gg. Now these formations can be found in a couple other playbooks throughout the game, but you can only find both of them here in the Packers playbook. And what I absolutely love is how easy it is to audible between them. So we just went from gun cluster halfback strong into gun cluster, and then we can go back into gun cluster halfback strong, and it's literally just our running back motioning across the formation. It is that simple. And so right here, I'm going to go through a couple of the plays that I love in both of these formations. And so right here, this is motion mesh post, and all you need to do here is a single adjustment, which is put your running back on a flat route. When you snap the ball, you're going to get your tight end coming in this auto motion across the formation, and then you're going to have all kinds of things coming open. Now, this play has mesh drags, true mesh drags. And what not everyone knows is that mesh drags are a little bit different than hot routed drags. And what mesh drags are going to do is against zone coverage, they are actually going to sit in the soft spots in between the zones. And that's exactly what happened right here. You see our drag coming from the left side. Because this was zone coverage, it actually sat down in the open space rather than carrying across the field. So that's why he kind of stopped briefly, but that can be very, very useful so that if your opponent is in something like a cover 3, it will prevent your drag from running into a hard flat on the outside, and instead he'll just kind of sit in the soft spot before he gets to the hard flat on the edge. Now right here, I just audibled the defense into cover 1. So I want to show you guys that mesh drags do amazing against man coverage. Mesh drags beat man coverage better than hot routed drags do. If we go ahead and snap this ball, you're going to see right here that our drag coming from the right completely cooked the man coverage, and that's an easy completion on the outside. If I'm ever dealing with someone playing very aggressive man coverage, I run mesh drags. And actually, our other drag was even more open. Look at how well he cooked his man coverage. Doesn't matter if it's jamming, not jamming, or pressed or not pressed. It doesn't matter. These mesh drags absolutely obliterate man coverage. Now, what I also love about this play is this shallow post from our outside receiver. And so if we go back to zone coverage here, and if your opponent starts running some shaded underneath zone coverage, well, this post is going to be in a perfect spot to hit him over top of the linebackers. You see right here, those linebackers stay down. Well, guess what? I just passed that ball down, and I don't know why Jordan Love kind of missed the throw. You could see that he was wide open. So let's go ahead and try that again. We'll see if Jordan Love can just put it in his chest this time. But you can see that it is wide open, and it just runs in such a perfect spot because it is over top the linebackers, but it's underneath the deep blues, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. It's going to be too shallow for anyone in a middle third or an inside quarter in order to play this post route. And you can see right here, once he makes his break, it's just such a clean break, and you just pass that ball down, keep it away from the defenders over top, and that's a really easy gain. Now, if we put the defense into man coverage, what we're going to see here is that the shallow post also gets really solid separation, and it will slightly depend on how good the route running is of that receiver, but in general, the separation should be very solid. You just pass that ball out in front of him, and it should be cooking the man coverage. And so I absolutely love this play, motion mesh post, because it's literally just one adjustment, and then you can snap the ball, and you're going to have guys open against man and zone coverage all over the field. Now, real quick, I'm going to go to the play call screen so I can show you guys all the different plays that are in gun cluster, halfback strong, and gun cluster. And so you can see we have a lot of cool auto motion plays. We have a really, really great shallow post on the play post curls. We have a very unique tight end wheel route in the play post dig. And of course, we have verticals, and I just love having a verticals. You know, gun cluster, halfback strong, and gun cluster, they're kind of like bunch formations. We know how powerful verticals is in gun bunch. It's the exact same thing in these formations as well. Now, over on the gun cluster side, we have more mesh concepts. We have some really nice sharp post routes and sharp corner routes. And we also have my favorite route in the game, which is a shake route on this play, Z spot shake. I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple reps in this real quick. And what I like to do here is we have a couple setups in the Packers offense game plan that involve motioning someone out. And so what I actually love to do here is I love to do this right here. In fact, we can even leave the running back on the swing route. But basically, we've got a flood concept going to the right side. We also have a man-beating shake route going from right to left. And so if we go ahead and snap this ball real quick, you can see that we can throw to either the shake route or the deep cross on the outside, and hey, and we're even into the end zone. And so it's kind of like putting the user in conflict, because most likely the user is going to be guarding over the middle. And if the user wants to guard underneath and take the shake route, which right here, the shake route was still wide open anyway, but you're kind of making them pick. You got the shake route coming right to left, you got the deep cross going left to right, and they can't guard both. Now, if it's man coverage, we already know how great the shake route is against man coverage. We can go ahead and do it once again. We can go ahead and motion this guy out, get that deep cross on the field. So just a couple of adjustments, snap the ball. You're going to see the shake route is going to cook his guy, just let him get past the 3-rec standing in the middle of the field. And that was probably the worst separation I've ever seen for a shake route. Let's go ahead and do it one more time. Motion out, deep cross, and let's get rid of this 3-rec because he's just. I just want to see the man coverage versus the shake route, and that's a lot more what I'm used to seeing right there. Is just absolutely absurd separation from the shake route. So even in the absolute worst case scenario, it was a completion, and most of the time, as we've seen before with shake routes, it's going to be a ton of separation. And so that's just a couple setups from gun cluster halfback strong. In the Packers offense game plan, we have tons and tons of setups, but these formations are insanely powerful. They have so many unique man and zone and match beating routes as well. And I think that gun cluster and gun cluster halfback strong are probably two of the most overlooked formations in the entire game, but especially when they're in the same playbook and you can so quickly audible between them, they are extremely powerful once you master them here in Madden 26. And finally, at number 1, EA made the best playbook in the game even better with a brand new formation. The Jaguars Playbook is already the most popular playbook in the game. I saw a tweet that something like 20% of players in MUT are using the Jaguars Playbook, and I expect that percentage to go even higher after the new formation that EA just added to it. Now, we've already covered the Jaguars Playbook in our Jacksonville Jaguars offense game plan on playbookprofessor.gg, and we covered the formations of gun doubles flex Y off close and gun bunch X nasty, but right here, this brand new formation, gun bunch tight end weak, is probably going to get even more people to come to the Jaguars Playbook. And so I want to show you guys this new formation, gun bunch tight end weak, and show you 3 really awesome plays out of it. We've got a great man beating play, a great zone beating play, and a great RPO. And so as you look through these plays, you can see a lot of unique routes, a lot of cool auto motions. And the first play we're going to look at is motion divide X under. And so I'm going to go find man coverage. We'll do cover 1 hole. And there's a lot you can do out of this play, but you want to build around the auto motion from the inside bunch receiver on this drag, and also the sharp post from the middle bunch receiver. And so what I'd probably do here is streak my tight end and then take my outside bunch receiver, maybe put him on like a stem down corner route or something. But against cover 1, against man coverage, the 2 routes I'm primarily looking at are going to be the drag route and the post route. And so right here, you can see the post route just gets absolutely insane separation. You don't need a great route runner. That's Parker Washington right there. Nothing against Parker Washington, but he's nothing special at wide receiver, and that was incredible separation. We can go ahead and run it once again, and we're also going to look for the drag and also the stem down corner route. And you can see right there what can happen with the drag is that you can end up getting a natural pick, which is going to get that drag wide open. We can look at the replay real quick, and you'll be able to see that here on the outside, he motioned outside, but then when he comes inside and you have the stemmed down corner route running into that spot, there's a really good chance of him bumping that cornerback off of the receiver, and now he is wide open for some easy yards. And so between that drag, the post, and the stem down corner route, you have 3 guys that have a great chance of getting open against man coverage. Now let's go to zone coverage, and this is maybe even more interesting. The play here is going to be motion flood H sneak. So we're going to call that, and we'll just do some cover 3 for the defense. And the setup that I love here is really just to take the tight end and put him on an in route and then stem it up by like 2 clicks on the D-pad, just this right here. And so we basically have a flood concept to the wide side of the field with a backside tight end dig and the running back on the cross flat route, but we're not even going to worry about him. And this is actually really nice because usually you have to hot route like a slot fade and corner route and everything in order to flood to the wide side of the field out of a compressed set like bunch tight end. And this play basically already has it built in. So that right there is pretty nice. But what's even cooler about this play is this auto motion route from the inside bunch receiver. He's going to kind of motion out. He's going to sit like he's on a hitch initially, but then he's going to cut back inside and get some momentum to the inside. And it's just really nice to have multiple windows to hit him, to where if he's open early on the hitch, we'll call it a hitch. If he's open early on this hitch, you can throw it to him right there. Like, let's say there was a defender sitting right on top of him in like a cloud flat or something. Well, there's going to be a timer where after a couple seconds, he's just going to take off to the inside and hopefully at least go into all this open space over the middle. And so it just creates multiple windows for you to be able to hit this guy. Now, if your opponent is in something like shaded down zone coverage, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, or cover 4, then obviously he's going to be covered, especially early on like kind of the hitch component of his route. But now your flood concept is going to allow you to just hit the guy over the top on this C route. And so you always have someone open against zone coverage, whether they're shading underneath or not shading underneath, there's always going to be someone open. And then of course you still have your tight end on the backside dig as well. You see that he's wide open over the middle here. So you've got multiple options on this play. This slot fade is doing a great job of driving back the outside cornerback and the outside third. And just as a quick reminder, guys, as a clear out route, remember, if this was just a streak, he would not pull this outside third. He would actually be pulling this middle third. It needs to be a slot fade in order to pull the outside third. So it's perfect that this play has the built-in slot fade. And there we are hitting the C route over top of the shaded underneath zone coverage. And so we've got a great man beating play in this formation gun bunch tight end week, great zone beating play, and we also have a great RPO. And so if we go back to the play call screen, we can go to the RPO. Where is it? It is going to be RPO read bubble. And RPO read bubbles are insanely powerful. Everyone should already know that any bubble screen is going to be pretty powerful, but an RPO read bubble has extra components to it because there's a read key and a pass key. The read key is the defender with the R icon above his head, and the pass key is the defender with the P icon above his head. And the way you read these RPO read bubbles is you always start by reading the pass key. And so that's going to be this defender right here. That's our pass key. If he slides outside the bubble screen, then you're immediately going to read the read key, and it essentially becomes a read option. But if the pass key doesn't slide outside when you snap the ball, then you're just going to throw the bubble screen. So right here, if we just go ahead and snap it, the pass key didn't slide outside, we throw out to our bubble screen, and now we have a huge gain on the outside. And so let's say you run that the first time and your opponent goes, okay, well, I definitely don't want that to happen again. Let's go ahead and man him up. So this time, that pass key is going to slide outside. And when that happens, you have to immediately look at the read key and run it like a read option. And so the way you run a read option is if that read key comes flying inside, you're going to hold down A on Xbox or X on PlayStation and keep with the quarterback. And if that read key kind of squares up to the mesh point and doesn't come flying in, you're going to not press anything and hand the ball off to your running back. And so to go through a full rep, again, we're reading the pass key first, then the read key. Pass key slides outside, read key crashes inside. We keep it with the quarterback, we take off, and we will take it almost all the way for a touchdown. We'll take it down to the 5-yard line. This is an insanely powerful RPO once you can learn how to run it properly and quickly make all the reads. These RPO read bubbles, there's not a ton of them in the game, but they are insanely powerful. And the fact that they added it to the Jaguars playbook with all these good passing plays, with it being in Gun Bunch tight end week, with the fact that you are just a single audible away from being in Gun Bunch tight end, a super quick audible as well, this Jaguars playbook was already insanely powerful, and now it just got even more powerful. And so if you want to run the most popular playbook in the game, then definitely get into the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook. It is completely stacked with all kinds of overpowered plays and formations that will make offense extremely easy for you in Madden 26. And so those are the updated top 5 best playbooks in Madden 26. Now, having a great playbook won't do you any good if you're making game-losing mistakes every time you play, and that's why I strongly recommend watching this video next, where I go over 7 huge mistakes that way too many players make in Madden 26.